Hello folks, welcome back to Drive On Photography. Today I want to do a short tutorial. This actually came about from a question that was posted on Facebook with our local photography club. So aspect ratio is one of those troubling things for a lot of photographers, and if you don't know what your camera settings are, for example, or if you're not sure what your camera settings are, and you may want to print something in an 8x10, but you shot it in an aspect ratio, for example, that was a 4:3. Well, in a 4:3 or a 3:2, sorry, a 3:2 ratio, that gives you an aspect ratio for a print more of 8x12. So I guess what I want to do is show you how to handle those troubling aspect ratios when you want to do a specific print, or maybe you want to do a print for a family member, or someone has asked you for a specific image and you can't quite get that to come out. Don't be afraid to use a border. I guess say a white or black border. You can take that image and you can go to any of your local frame shops. It could be Michael's, it could be Hobby Lobby, any place like that, and they can trim those edges off to fit a standard frame, say an 8x12 frame. But today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to use a trick in Photoshop. And I know a lot of people get scared of looking into Photoshop, but this is really simple, and it's an easy way to help get yourself out of a bind and still put an image out that will give you a nice product. So what I'm going to do here, we'll take this image here. This was taken over on the Blue Ridge Parkway in Western North Carolina. This is about 40 miles south of Asheville. So geographically speaking, that would be, for those of you familiar with the eastern part of the U.S., about halfway between Asheville, North Carolina, and Gatlinburg, Tennessee, or Cherokee, North Carolina. This is the Pisgah Mountain, or the tunnel. I forgot what overlook that actually is right there. I can look that up. But the mountain above the tunnel here is the Pisgah. And just south of this, about 1 mile, is the Pisgah Inn. Great place to stay. Looks over this valley right here, looking to the east, so you can get some amazing sunrise pictures. If you want to do Milky Way pictures, it's a great place to go to do the time lapse of the Milky Way. And I'd love to find a way to get the Milky Way coming up through one of these tunnels over there, but that's a little bit troubling to try to park yourself in a tunnel at night. That might have to be a composite, but anyway, another story. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how to make a mat that you could drop this image into and then take it and have it printed regardless of the size dimensions. I'm going to show you, I'm going to pull another file over here and show you. If we just look at a 3:2 aspect ratio, here's your common print sizes for a 3:2. So here, for example, 3 will go into 9:3, 3 will go into 6:2. So there's how you get your aspect ratio. Maybe I want to do this in a 12:18, but I'm not real sure if that image will print to a 12:18. And actually the aspect ratio for that print, being that it's a full frame image, will not, without something being cut off. And I guess that's the real goal. How do I get all of this image into a print without cutting it off? So here's what we're going to do. First thing I'm going to do is we're going to create a new file, or a new new image here, if you were. We're going to create a new file. Let's say that I wanted to make that image a 16:24. Well, I'm going to pick here a 20:28. I've added 2 inches all the way around that border, or all the way around that image, to get a border. So we're going to create that. Now, if you don't know where your rulers are in Photoshop, if you come up to View, you can come down and select Rulers, and then you'll get your rulers here and here. Now here's what we're going to do. We're going to start right here. We're going to take one bar, or just come into the ruler itself, click and drag over, and I'm going to come over 2 inches. I'm going to do the same thing for the right side. I'm going to come over here 2 inches. Same thing for the top and the bottom. I'm going to come down 2 inches. Now, if you want to put a one in the middle, you can do that. So we got what? Losing my train of thought there. 14 is 28. There it is. Having a hard time seeing the numbers up there. And then we can do the same thing here in the middle. I was at 20, so we'll come down to 10. Now, that basically gave me just a clean place to work with my image. If I come back over to my image here, you can use your move tool up here, the little plus looking arrows. That is your move tool. If I come into the image, click, drag it up over the one I just created. Now, I haven't let go of my mouse yet. Hold down your shift key and then let go. And it may ask you if the target depth is different. Just say yes, you want to continue. So as you can see, there's my image, and you can tell that specific size or my original size of my image, it didn't meet that specific print size, but I wanted that image in a 16 by 20, and that's just what I wanted, whether it was the best way to go or not. So if you hit Command T while this image was still selected over here, Command T, that gives me my transform tool. Hold down your shift key. Holding your shift key as you drag will keep the image at its proper or its original aspect ratio. So right here, I've drug in a little bit. I'm going to try to get it at least one corner, one reference point right there. I'm going to drop it in there. I'm going to still hold my shift key. I'm going to drag it up. And now you can see here, now I have that image in a 16 by 20 format within that 20 by, or my 18 by 28 mat. But if you look over here, 16 by 24 would have been what I would have been able to drop it into originally. So anyway, you couldn't see that. Let me drop that back over so you can see it. I mean, 16 by 20 isn't in there, at least as far as that. And you can tell quick math on that. 16 by 20, it's a 4 by 5. So anyway, here's a real quick way. And if I just hit OK, oops, hit OK. So now there's my print. I can save that out as a JPEG. If you want to hit Command E, that'll flatten that image right there. So you got a great way there to print that image out. You can take this to the framing shop if they want to. If you want the white border trimmed off, you can do that. Or maybe you want to mat it and leave that as a little bit of an area, and then come out here with a mat. Maybe you want to pick an orange or some of this orange color right here, maybe a secondary mat with the blue or the gray. But it gives you a way to create an image without having to worry about the fuss and the muss of determining what your aspect ratio is. You can still do this for any of these other sizes over here. If I want to create a mat and I want it to be an 8 by 12, well, I just come over here and I would make a new file that would be 2 inches on each side. So that would be a 12 by 16. That would be my white mat, 12 by 16. Then I create my lines in here that would form the 8 by 12. And then it may not be exactly perfect, but it gives you a place to start. So, hope that helps for those of you that are having trouble with aspect ratios. I'll come back a little bit later. We'll do a little bit more in-depth look at those aspect ratios and that spreadsheet there that helps give you a starting point. So thanks for watching. Drop me a comment below if you like this. If there's something you'd like to see or you'd like to learn how to do in Photoshop or Lightroom, comment that as well. I can create a video for that. Again, my goal is to start populating this channel with content that's user-friendly and helpful. We don't have to get overly complicated because we can get there really quick in Photoshop, but the tools we have today make a lot of things everyday photographers want to do really easy. Maybe we'll even come back and look at how I edited this image to bring the colors out of that tunnel and the reflective colors into the sidewall of the tunnel and on the asphalt itself there. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Let me know what you think and hope to see you on another video. Thanks.